Chapter 274. Mahal in Hanoch. But the way from the mountains, which was probably the worst and least trodden, led straight through the garden of the beauty goddesses, passing near the open temple. And our hikers from the mountains therefore had to pass through this suspicious garden, and came close to the temple. In no other time was the temple more visited than just now, when the news had spread everywhere about everything that happened here recently. And as such also our group, in which at present nothing was more alive than their curiosity, noticed the many visitors at the temple, and they, therefore, wanted to investigate what was going on themselves. But the caravan leader said to Mahal, "Venerable man and most noble father of our great Queen Agla, behold, there is a strong, pressing crowd. We would need an hour to get anywhere near the temple. But to get into the temple itself is obviously an absolute impossibility. Therefore, be content for the time being with this sight from a small distance. But if you want to watch all this in more detail, you will be able to view everything very easily in the company of the king. For if the king is coming, all the people immediately give way and most reverentially leave room for the king." Upon this declaration, Mahal complied and moved on with the caravan. When he came into the city, his amazement found no end. At each palace building he stopped and admired it exceedingly. Likewise, also his children were totally flabbergasted. The son, named Kisarel, frequently asked whether this was built by humans. As such, the shining arched shops mightily attracted the eyes of the two daughters, and one as the other asked at any new shop whether such beautiful things could be obtained and to whom they belonged. The guide talked himself almost hoarse with all the explanations, and was very glad when after 4 hours they reached the great palace square. But when the caravan arrived in front of the palace, the king, the queen, Fungar Helan and Drohuit came out at once with an exceedingly shiny royal household, and received the whole society in a most friendly manner, and led them to the palace. Mahal struggled to get hold of himself of sheer joy for finding his beloved daughter, for whom he has wept so much, under such happiest circumstances. And Fungar Helan immediately went to Pyrrha, who had charmed him from the first moment he laid his eyes on her, and asked her about various matters, for which the beautiful Pyrrha gave him naive answers, which pleased the general exceedingly. Likewise also Drohuit found extreme happiness in Gela. But Agla laid in the arms of her father and her brother Kisarel, intoxicated with bliss, and could barely speak. Gurat immediately ordered a big meal, and at once had royal clothes brought in for the newly arrived relatives. Thus this family was received in Hanoch.